Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Future Stars live on Hidayat TV. I'm your host of the chart, and today we are continuing talking about fiqh, and today we are talking about generosity. And generosity is a very important thing in Islam by the Prophet's teachings and everything all the Imams have done. So I'll start off by introducing my guests.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Mohsin.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Misbah.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Zaki. Assalamu alaikum, my name is Ali.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Hussein.
Thank you for that introduction. Like we do on every show, some will read the surah and some will read the translation. Basically, you're reading the surah and most of you are reading the translation. So can we start them off with a loud salawat? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjahum.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Inna a'tainaka al-kawsar. فَصَلِّ لِرَبِّكَ وَانْحَرْ إِنَّ شَانِئَكَ هُوَ الْأَبْتَرُ صدق الله العلي العظيم.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, indeed we have granted you, O Muhammad, so pray to your Lord and sacrifice. Indeed your enemy is the one who is cut off. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farajah. Alright, so today we're talking about generosity. So what do you mean? What do you think is the meaning of generosity, Ali? Ali, yeah.
If you have something and there's like a poor person sitting down,
Yeah.
you give the person the thing that you have, and that's generosity.
Yeah, that's generosity. Hussein?
Generosity means to give something away that you need to someone who needs it.
Yeah. So that's a good thing as well. And Zaki?
Is it when you need something and also somebody else needs it?
Yeah, that's a big type of generosity as well. If you need that thing, but someone else needs it as well, and you give it to them, wouldn't you think that's look big in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Zaki?
Generosity.
Yeah, that is it's looked on big in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because you need that thing as well, and you're giving it to someone that also need that thing, but you also need yourself, and you give it to them. That's a really big good deed. And and you could be generous by giving someone some money, some things like that. So that's a big type of generosity as well. And so, what will you be doing on today's show?
I'll be making an origami frog.
Yeah. And then today, like we said last week, we will all be joining in. So. So we'll see who gets it wrong and who gets it right. So there's probably I'll probably mess it up because I don't know a lot about origami. Lucky?
If we get it wrong, can somebody that did it right help the other person?
Yeah, that's right. So it's good to help other people as well. So while we do that, and Ali and Zaki, what will you be showing us today?
Reading the story.
Yeah, you'll be reading a story
of Bibi Fatima and
the song about her as well.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you.
And it's short.
Yeah, that's good as well. So thank you, Ali and Zaki. So we'll start off with the loud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjahum.
The literal meaning of generosity is willing to give something that you have to another. According to the teaching of our Imam, generosity is not only giving you extra to other people, but giving away something that you need yourself to somebody who also needs it. In the Quran, Allah says, as for him who gives away and guards himself against evil and believes in the best, he will smoothen the path unto bliss. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjahum. So thank you for that, Mohsin. So Mohsin was saying there that there's this type of generosity when you have that extra thing that you don't actually need and you give it to someone else. That's good as well, isn't it? But what Imam Ali was talking about, that this is an even better thing, isn't it? That when you need something and you've got it and you actually need it and you give it to someone else, yeah, this is a big type of generosity. It's a really good type of generosity, isn't it? So like, for example, let's say you went to school, yeah, and you had some money on you to buy something, yeah, like for your dinner for today, yeah, and then you see some other person, yeah, and they don't have anything, they don't have any money, but you need that money as well, but you give them some of that money. That's generous, isn't it? That's a generosity, and that's a good thing, isn't it? You said.
And also, like, sharing is another way of like being generous, because that's like you're sharing your belongings to other people.
Yeah,
So
sharing is also good as a like type of generosity, where like you can split something and then you can have half of it, someone else can have half of it. Yes, so that's a good type of generosity as well also. But what was the Imam Ali, what was the generosity that he said that Moses was talking about? Can you remember? Zaki?
When you need something and somebody else needs some, so you give the thing to the person that needs it.
Yeah, that's totally right. So if you have you need something, yeah, something that you need, but you give it to someone else, that's a really big type of generosity, Mohsin.
Yeah, and I said that if you want it but you don't actually need it, you can give it to somebody else, and it will like smoothen your path, and it means that it'll help you to have a sort of like better understanding.
Yeah, so that's right. So, Misbah, you've got the next thing. So, can we start Misbah with a loud salawat? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wajjil farjum.
Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said, a generous person is a friend of Allah, and a miser is an enemy of Allah. To be generous, you do not have to have money. You can be generous by spending your time helping people. Children and young people often think that to donate something, you should be an adult. That is not true. If a child donates something, it means more to Allah than if an adult donated the same thing. This is because the child is not earning and does not have much, and so giving away something which is more precious to him or her than it is to the adult. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wajjil farjum. Thank you, Misbah. So, what was the saying of the Prophet Muhammad that she started with, Zaki?
She said that when a child gives something, it means more than Allah, because they don't have that much thing.
Yeah, that's right. That's the thing that she said. So we'll go into that in a minute. But what was the first thing that she started off with? The hadith of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and what did that say, Misbah?
A generous person is a friend of Allah, but a miser is not.
What do you think that word means? What was that word?
Miser.
What was it that word? Yeah. So what do you think that word means, Zaki?
Does it mean like a good person?
The hadith was when a generous person is a what?
Is a friend to Allah.
Yeah, and a what? A miser? Was it a miser? Yeah. Is a what? Have you said?
is an
enemy of Allah.
Yeah, enemy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what does this word miser mean, Zaki?
An enemy of Allah.
Yeah, miser is an enemy of Allah. But what does the word say, Mohsin?
It's like the opposite of
it's like the opposite of generous. So like you're stingy, you keep it to yourself, all these type of things. So miser is a enemy of Allah because he's selfish. That's the main reason why.
And if, for example, if you're miser and you're rich, or you only give like a small amount of money to charity.
Yeah, that's why. So you should be doing more of these things. And then Mispa said, this was talking about that if your child as well, like our age, people at our age, that people might be watching this as well, at small ages as well. So what was Mispa saying about that, about them type of people both?
She was saying about how people believe or people think that children doesn't have to give anything away, or that it doesn't matter as much if a child gives something away because they're just a child. But it's actually the children should give more away because of the fact that because they're a child, they're not going to be earning any money to buy whatever they're going to give away back. So the thing that they've got values more to them than what like it would to an adult. So because of the fact that if they give it away, they'll get more like good deeds because of the fact that they're a child.
Yes, so that's why. So because someone is a child, people at home might think, oh, I'm just a child, I don't have to give this type of stuff and help people out. But generosity is should be because you're a child and you don't earn things, you don't go to a job, you don't earn money, stuff like that. So it's hard for you. It's quite hard for you to give money, stuff like that, isn't it? Yeah. But as a child, it's more rewarding as a child if you be generous in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why do you think that, Zaki?
Because children are first really pure, and Allah cares about children more.
Yeah. That's why. So it's good for children to be generous. It's more open in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you get more reward if you're a child to be generous than an adult to be generous. Because the adult is earning wages, stuff like that. But the child, the child doesn't go to a job and he doesn't get money from the job. So it's good for a child to be generous because he has that thing and he cares more about it to give it because it's his thing. So if he gives it, it's really more rewarding in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So thank you about that, Misbah. We said you've got the next thing. So can we start and say off with the loud salawat? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa
Wajib.
The best example of generosity can be seen in the life of the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. One such instant is the event that is glorified in the Quran itself, in Surah Insan, where Imam Ali alayhi salam, Sayyidah Fatima alayhi salam, Imam Hassan alayhi salam, Imam Hussain alayhi salam, and their follower Sayyidah Fidda alayhi salam gave the only food they had for iftar after a whole day of fasting for 3 consecutive days to the needy, the orphan, and the slave prisoner of war. When these people thanked the Ahlul Bayt for their generosity, the Ahlul Bayt, as mentioned in the Quran, said, "We don't expect any reward or thanks from you. We have done this for the pleasure of Allah alone." Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil fajr. So thank you, Sayyid. So starting off, what did you say talk about, Zaki?
Hussein was talking about the Ahlul Bayt used to was helping people, and they said they didn't want rewards because they were doing it for Allah.
Yeah. So Ali, so what was the Ahlul Bayt doing? Because you said at the start he was talking about that the Ahlul Bayt is a good example, isn't it, to show? So what was the Ahlul Bayt doing?
They were helping people, and they didn't want to. When people say, how could I repay it? They said no, because they just do it for Allah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So a good thing is the Ahlul Bayt, they're like, you know, in Ramadan, where after a long day of fasting, we can't wait to finish Maghrib and Isha, and then what do we do straight away? Break our fast, don't we? Yeah, and we really want to break our fast because we had a whole day of fasting, and we're so tired, we're so hungry. Yeah, and Zaki?
When we're fasting, people in the, we do fasting because people in the world don't eat anything, and it's like they fast forever.
Yeah, that's one right thing. So Zaki was just explaining what fasting is there. So then after we fasted a whole day, we really want to eat. It's at the end of the day. We finish our prayers. We really want to eat, and then suddenly we have to give away that food. How would you feel? Tell me, Hussein.
Gutted, disappointed. It's only because of the fact that they've waited for ages they've been fasting all day, so they've been looking forward for this moment when they're eating, but then when they're going to eat, they've had to give it away because other people needed it more than what they did.
Yeah, that's the right thing. So what was happening? Oh, let me just explain now. Yeah, so they're now fasting, and then an ordinary person. So Ahlul Bayt are now the few of the Ahlul Bayt have now fasted, and then they're ready to break their fast. Yeah, and then after a long day, they're ready to break their fast, and then what they do, they give away their food, the food that they're gonna use to break their fast. A normal person, we'll wait for that food all day. Oh yeah, do we have to give it away? All that. But what did they act like that?
No.
No, Misbah, what did they say?
They gave it without moaning or.
Yeah. And what did they say? Like Ali said that they wanted. Misbah, yeah.
They said that. We did it for the pleasure of Allah.
Yeah, they did it for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So thank you for that. Hussein, you was talking about that, wasn't you? So yeah, so can we start most enough with the loud salawat? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farajah.
A young person can be generous in different ways: by giving their pocket money to a needy person or cause, by helping a blind person cross the road, by helping a fellow student, by tutoring them in a subject when they need help, by volunteering for tasks they can do at Islamic centers, by helping your parents, smiling at a person when you greet them, giving someone a glass of water. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farajah. Thank you. So mostly you was talking about students, how we're all students, are we? We all go to school. Yeah, and mostly people who are watching this today are probably it's a weekend now, so you're gutted on Monday that you gotta go to school, yeah. So most of us that are watching it, we go to school with students, yeah. And some people think we know that a child should be generous, because it's more rewarding in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for a child to be generous. So now people at home might be thinking, oh, we're all students, how can we be generous? So how do you think, Mosi gave a couple of examples there, didn't he, of how a student can be generous. So so we'll go one by one and give an example. Mosi, start with you.
When somebody's struggling, you can help them.
Yeah, when somebody's struggling.
Helping a blind person cross the road.
Helping a blind person cross the road, that was one of Moses said.
Helping someone on a subject they don't know much about.
Yeah, that's the right thing. So that's in school. You can help someone, like revise, something like that. Ali?
Help an old person carry their bags.
Yeah, help an old person carry their bags, that's good. And you said?
when you're in school, like you could just like help the teacher out by like giving the stuff out, like what's like the worksheet.
That's like so that's a good thing as well also. So these are just things of some of them like in school that you can help your teachers out, help your friends out with their subject, and some of them out of school where you can help a blind person cross the road, or help someone when they're in need, or help an old person carry their bag, stuff like that. So these are just a few things that a student, so as children, can actually be generous and help people out. Isn't that right? Yes. So that's a really good thing, isn't it? Yeah. So Misbah, you've got the next thing. So can we start with Swaf with the loud salawat? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farjah.
The Arabic word for miserableness is bukhul. A simple meaning for miserableness is to be stingy. This means giving very little of what you have to someone who needs it. Example, imagine you were eating and you had plenty of food. If a poor man came to the door and asked for something to eat, and you gave him a few spoons of rice or half a slice of bread, then that is being miserly. If your mother asked you to help her for 5 minutes and you set up your stopwatch so that you can help her for exactly 5 minutes and then go away, that is also being stingy. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farjah. Alright, thank you, Misbah. So Misbah was talking about so one of the points that she was actually making, so not giving some people your time is stingy, isn't it? Yeah. So Ali, what was Misbah talking about there? Just start us off. So Ali.
If there's an old person at the door and you just give like 5 scoops of rice and just like a bit of water, that's quite stingy. And when your mom said help you for 5 minutes, can you help her for 5 minutes? And you put a timer on, that's quite stingy.
Yeah, that's quite stingy as well. So a point that they were making, wasn't it? So that not giving people your time and like being precise, or what did the Imam says, that give her 5 minutes, didn't he? Yeah. So and then you say, okay, after 5 minutes I'm gonna go. I'm gonna count every second now. Yeah. So this is really a stingy thing, isn't it? So we'll talk more about this after the break. So we've run out of time for this half of the show. So we'll see you the second half of the show. But until then, good Hafiz.